friends, Amanda here from Handmade No Hallmark. I am back with the Possum Stamps YouTube channel today to share with you this really cute vellum spotlight card featuring this adorable panda. Let's get into it. I'm going to be using the Playful Pandas stamp and die set today. This is such a sweet set, and I wanted to start out with doing the background. So I've got a piece of craft cardstock here, and I've got some brown ink, and I'm just going around and I am stamping the bamboo stamp all over the background. I'm going to kind of create my own pattern paper. This is one of my favorite ways to kind of use small stamps or smaller stamps inside of stamp sets. Kind of makes it all coordinate really nicely together. And it's fun creating your own personal pattern paper to go with your card. I'm taking the smaller leaf image as well and just filling in some of the empty spaces so I get a nice pattern all over. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take some vintage photo distress ink and I'm going to water it down and I'm going to splatter the background. You could easily leave this step out. I wanted to add a little bit of texture and interest in the background just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. Go through and add those splatters, and then I'm also going to go in with some white gouache and I'm going to do a little bit of splattering as well. Again, this step is completely optional. You don't have to do this. I just think it looks really neat, kind of gives it a little bit more interest because this is our own personal pattern paper and I wanted it to kind of look a little bit interesting. It's not the focal point of the card, but I think it's going to really help kind of set the scene. I'm going to set that off to the side to dry, and then we're going to get right into our coloring. All of the colors that I'm going to be using will be listed on the screen, and when we're all done, we'll finish up together. Once all my coloring was finished and my image was cut out, I just took the same card base that we stamped on earlier and I turned it inside out so I could stamp a greeting on the inside. I took another one of the pandas from the Playful Panda set and one of the greetings, and I'm going to stamp it on the inside with the same brown ink that I used on the front panel. I love these little pandas. They are so sweet, and I love all of the greetings. They could be used for encouragement. They could be used for, Valentine's themed cards, anything at all. I really like this little guy eating the bamboo. He is so sweet. And pandas are one of my favorite images to color and work with because they're super simple to color, black and white, really easy. Next, I'm going to take a piece of black cardstock and I'm going to choose yet another sentiment from the same set, and I'm going to heat emboss it onto this black cardstock. I'm just going to use some clear sticky ink and some white embossing powder to stamp and heat emboss my image. Once I have that stamped down, I'm going to coat it in that white embossing powder and I'm going to heat it up. I'm going to use just a regular flag banner die from my stash to cut out this greeting, and we can get to assembly. I really like the look of greetings on black cardstock, if you haven't picked that up from some of my videos in the past. Once all the elements of our card are ready, I'm going to take a piece of vellum. This is just some heavyweight vellum from my stash, and I'm going to get to assembling our little panda image on the front. I'm going to use some dimensional foam squares to attach our panda to the vellum. The nice thing about this is that it gives us a place to attach the adhesive behind the panda so you can't see it through the vellum. And they're not too thick, and they give just enough dimension to add some interest. Once I get the back of him all covered, I'm going to go ahead and take off the adhesive covering, excuse me, I can't talk today, off the back, and we'll get him attached to the vellum. I just used a rectangle die from my stash to cut out the vellum piece, and I'm going to use the grids on my mat to help me align everything up. This panda is so sweet. I love his little expression on his face. I'm going to do the same with the greeting, just going to attach it as well with the same foam adhesive. Get that attached, and we'll line that up right underneath our little panda. Once I had that attached, I went in with a white gel pen and added some highlight details to our little panda. This is one of my favorite ways to add some interest to any kind of character, and I really like adding kind of spots or little dots around the edges, especially on animals, because I feel like it gives them a little bit of a fur texture, gives them, a little bit more interest, makes them a little bit more fuzzy and cute. Then I'm going to go in with a black gel pen and add a little bit of interest to his nose and to his eyes, just to kind of brighten them up and give them a little bit more dimension as well. And then I'll give this a minute just to dry so that I don't smear it across my coloring. I'm going to take a glitter pen and go over top of our greeting, one of my favorite ways to add some glitter to a card. Once all of those things were dry, I took some more foam squares and added it to the back of our panel underneath the foam squares that we had on here before, so you can't see them under the vellum. Remove the backing paper, and we'll get him attached down to our card base. I really love using vellum as a spotlight over top of some pattern paper, especially if you only have one image. I think it really kind of draws your eye in and gives it interest, and then it doesn't cover up too much of the background, especially if you do your own pattern paper. You're not covering up all of that hard work. The last thing I wanted to do is I went in with some Captivating Cactus sequins from Possum as well to add a little bit of shine and sparkle to the rest of this card. And that will finish up this card for today. I really hope you enjoyed this little panda greeting from Possum Stamps. If you liked the video, hit the like button as well as the subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos here at the Possum Stamps YouTube channel. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you again real soon. Bye!